We are looking at a car that you normally don't see here very often. And it's not because we don't like Porsches or we don't work on them or we don't have any means to get them fixed. It's none of it. It's simply because it's very difficult to buy these cars at the price where you can still sell them and make a little bit of money. Uh, when dealers have these vehicles and they are in good condition, they are not wholesaling them, they're holding on to them. Even the older ones, they just have gone up in prices so much that it's just a very hot commodity, and for that reason they're not available at dealers auctions. If they are, they're usually beat up and they have issues. Also, this is the first year production. This is 2007, so it's the first year production of a 997 that did not have issues with the IMS bearings. We've had a lot of 2005, 2004, and 2006. We honestly, personally, have never seen cars with that particular problem, but if you do your readings, if you do your research, you will see that at some point, especially I think it was between 1999 and 2005 when the problem was most common. In 2006 they've made improvements. In 2007 they fixed it all together. So this car obviously doesn't come from an auction or anything like that. This car actually belonged to a local gentleman who was a little older guy, and about a year and a half ago or so he decided that he cannot drive the car anymore. I guess he was getting in and out of vehicle that was presenting a problem. So he decided to sell the car to a guy who serviced it. And that's where we bought it. So this car was purchased from Technical Dimensions. Technical Dimensions, it's a local shop that specializes in Porsches and Audis. They have all factory equipment. They have been in the business for a very long time. And the guy who owns Technical Dimensions, he is probably one of the most detailed mechanic that I have ever met. I mean, he has tremendous knowledge about all Porsches. He used to race them, and you ask him a question and he will just talk for an hour about, to answer you the question, but also to show you how much he knows about these cars. This vehicle was very well serviced by him up to the point that he bought it, and he bought the car for his wife. His wife didn't really drive it, so even though the car is set pretty much not driven for almost a year at his shop, he still did all the service that was required, only because he said Porsche, even if you don't drive them, you have to do certain things every 12 months. So we do have a last major service record that was with the work that was done for the rightful owner, the one that actually drove the car before he sold it to Technical Dimensions. So there was about $3,000 in work done, including water pump, belts, and all the good stuff. And then between September of 2021 and 2022, 40,000 mile service was done, and a bunch of other things. Well, anyways, for whoever is interested in the car, we have all these information. But just to show you how particular this guy is, when we got the car from him and he was talking about it to us, when he was telling us about the tires, he had to mention that these are not just your regular Bridgestone tires, but these are actually the tires that Porsche wants to put on that 911. So these are actually OEM specification tires that are on that car. Now, when we talk about imperfections or things that the car may need, there is really not much to say. From the standpoint of the body and the paint, I mean, everything, it's pretty much flawless. If you look very, very closely, there is a little Audi that is right here. I don't know if you can see it. It almost looked like something will pushed it from the inside, which it's not very visible. And then you got a tiny little scuff right here, which actually that looks like he may buff out. Yeah, this is just a transfer, so this actually will come out. So forget that. It's just that little bump. That's really the only thing that I've noticed. And then over here, tiny little scratch that will probably buff out as well. That's just dirt. So really the car is very, very nice. Oh, another little thing just over here. I don't know if you can see this. I mean, every imperfection on the car is really insignificant. The interior is very nice, and the car is actually pretty uniquely optioned because it has full leather interior in this optional color, and this all looks very nice, and there are no issues with the seats either. Alcantara headliner, so the inside doesn't really have any issues. There is a little wear on these AC buttons, which that's very common if you know these cars. Here's the current mileage, and I will also get it started. Foot on the brake, forgot. Car was moved out of the showroom. It ran probably for a minute or two. It's still cold, but there are no mechanical issues. Again, we were told by the mechanic at Technical, or the owner of Technical Dimensions, that everything was taken care of. He even did things that the car didn't even need, just upgraded stuff like coils and some other things. I guess starter harness was updated because Porsche issued a bulletin, and apparently that stuff was needed. This is kind of what we got. And he is a very friendly guy. Again, he's very knowledgeable and he likes to share his knowledge. So if you decide to contact him directly, I don't think there's going to be a problem. So all this was done. A car was sitting in the showroom probably for over a week at one spot, and when we moved it, there was no signs of any fluids under. So there are no leaks, and it drives very nicely, and it's very quick, and it's a lot of fun. If there are any more questions about anything, just please let us know. And we do have original window sticker, which is kind of rare on all their cars, so it shows you all the options that it had. It's got the special leather package, and basically the MSRP was right at $96,000. All right, thank you.